They, and by they I mean everybody, say life is full of surprises. You may find a good amount of lettuce on the street, or fall in love when you're not looking. But what shouldn't come as a surprise is death. Dying is a given, and yet everyone goes in shock and mourns when the wrong person dies. A young person, a loved person. 6 years ago I fell in love, and I am both delighted and frightened by the possibility of never falling out of it, because 4 months ago she died. The woman who loved me back, who I thought would never leave, who I thought would grow old and die with me because not even death could do us part. She was 22, only 22 years alive on earth, and now an eternity dead. She lived most of it going by the name Harleen Fleur. Then I proposed, and she added Kennedy to her name. Harleen Fleur Kennedy. I remember the smile she had on her face when she said it for the first time. I'm Edward Kennedy, 23 years old, and wondering what I, a boy from Marquette, Michigan, did to deserve more time. I grew up in a nice, well-to-do family, and unlike most families with cash, we poured some of our money into positive investments, such as building new schools and hospitals and making sure the orphans down at St. Joseph's had enough to eat. We wanted to help people, and so did Harleen. But that didn't matter. It seems that good or bad, you just die when you die. My brothers went out and fought in the war. They returned as healthy as ever, with cigarettes hanging out from their mouths as if their lungs didn't matter. I'd like to clear something up. If you think I have no reason to mourn because of my family's riches and my youth, then go on in thinking that, but know that you're wrong. Sure, I can wipe my tears with cash, but cash won't fix the leak. And whether you're young or old, the pain stays the same. We were married for 2 years. She was 20 when I got down on one knee and saw nothing but green lights ahead for the two of us. Those 2 years are precious to me. I hold no regrets. I even loved the arguments we had. They were beautiful. They were what kept us on our toes about each other. We were in love, and I believed it, and so did she. I want to say that I loved her from the time I laid eyes on her, but that would just be silly. But I will admit, I immediately thought she was beautiful. In fact, I have yet to run into any lady more beautiful than her, but she was quite rude to me when I first talked to her. It was junior year in high school, and she showed absolutely no interest in me, and when I tried to converse with her, nothing. I even brought up the money, and she all but fell asleep. It wouldn't be until senior year that I found out it was all a ploy. She was playing hard to get, and she apparently got tired of her own game and just pecked me on the lips one random afternoon during lunch. We dated ever since. We experienced the rest of high school and university with our hands locked to each other. We went to Los Angeles to study together. I majored in economics while she went for English. I know, English, what the hell are you gonna do with that? Not much if you're someone like me, but she had a talent. Give her an hour and she would write you a story full of laughs and tears that you have never experienced before. Imagine what she could do in a year, or a life. I was proud to be her husband, and even prouder to be her friend, and I wanted to make sure that she knew that, so I supported her, and even though she could take care of herself with no problem, I helped as much as I could, and told her I loved her as much as possible and as creatively as possible. By that, I mean I wrote her a new compliment every day. Yes, every day, and I agree. That would be the trait of a madman, but I don't care. She deserved that, and she returned the love. She wrote me a poem every day, and yes, she would agree that would be the trait of a mad woman, but she wouldn't care, because she thought I deserved it, and that is why we were as strong as we were. Now, it sounds like we had a perfect relationship, but we did not. No, we fought, sometimes for days we fought, but like I said, even those were enjoyable because we were learning about each other. It was far from perfect, but I wouldn't trade what we had for perfection. Our love never swayed, even as she entered the last 4 months of her life. She was diagnosed with some sort of cardiovascular disease. It was called idiopathic dilated cardiomyopathy. The doctor said it meant she had an enlarged heart. Who knew having a big heart could kill you? Not even the doctor could figure out why she had it. She was perfectly healthy all her life, never smoked, never drank. Sometimes luck just isn't on your side, is what the doctor said to me. The disease was too far gone and she was going to die. Like the milk in our fridge, my wife had an expiration date. 2 months is what we had, and we made the best of it. Before this happened, we spent every weekend together doing whatever we wanted, wherever we wanted. We did that, but just every day for 2 months, and it was glorious. We had fun. We knew that was all we could really do. She didn't lay on that hospital bed until she absolutely had to. 72 hours. Out of the 2 months, that's all the time she put in laying on a hospital bed. During those hours, we laughed and laughed as if it wasn't the end for her. She didn't have to say that's what she wanted. I could just tell. Her laugh started to settle into giggles and eventually just smiles. She asked me to read her the compliment I wrote for her that day, and I did. I said, "All your beauty, love, and care is contained in that wonderful smile of yours." She liked it and smiled. That's the best gift she could give me, her wonderful smile. Then, in labored breath, she read me her last poem. She said, "Hi, tonight I die, and that is fine, but you are alive, so don't forget to live your life." Then her heart stopped. She didn't panic or cry. No, she floated away smiling. I didn't cry either. She didn't want that. I waited until I reached the footsteps of our home. That's where I broke down and bawled for hours, not wanting to bring the tears into our home because she wouldn't want that. She wanted me to be happy, and that's the least I could do in return for all her smiles. It's 4 months today since her passing, and I don't blame anyone for it. Not the Lord, not the doctors, not luck, not nature, nothing. I only blame myself for being so surprised of something as unsurprising as death. It's been 4 months, and I'm living my life as Harleen requested. It is difficult. There doesn't seem to be much of a point, but that's okay. Eventually I will come to terms with the fact that all I have to love anymore are the memories, not the person. That's when I will have moved on.